the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Waiting. Check 55 to Mike. Watch QB draw.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check three. Switch.
Now Foles. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hayden full. 24 is the mic. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taylor now returning it. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run the counter. It's Taylor. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Check it back.
Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Go, go, go. Silence, silence. 55. Check. Hit him. Check right. Watch it, you ain't going nowhere. Smooth.
Here's Foles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check 31. Under 10. 10. SOS. Kill.
Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcel Darius flies in at 331 pounds for the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Fournette running out of the gun, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Here we go. Wide 80. Let's go one more. You got double time. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Watch the twist. Watch the curl. 12. Here we go.
Foles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A shotgun give to Fournette. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, here we go. I got you. 41 Mike. Come on, D. I got it. Hey, 41's Mike. Check. What are you?
On 2nd and 11 now. Foles. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack.
Yeah, let's go. 4 down. Check. 24 is the mic. Know your job. 24 is the mic. Stay with your man. 24 is the mic. We don't want this. Under. Hey, goal. Down goal.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
64. Hey. One. Here we go. Watch 7.
They'll set up a throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. To return is Taylor. So a change of possession here. On the punt. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, their 2 drives thus far both led to points, albeit both field goals, so the lead just 6-0, but the ability to move the ball is evident.
Well, that's, heartening, as they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
First down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the run.
Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll run on 1st down. Miller, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a give, right side. Taylor. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw on 3rd down. Watson. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Let's go, fellas.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He's got Fuller. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. A shotgun snap for Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
This will be a 5-yard pickup.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Second and 5 now. Watson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Watson down to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Will Dissly, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Is the mic.
Throwing again. Dobbs flushed out right. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Jeff Swain, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and
now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Out of the gun, Dobbs. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
intended for DJ Chark. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Hey, 24! Check 24! Alert 3, alert 3! Alert 2, check, cover! Switch 22, switch check, cover! Watch safety creep, watch safety creep!
To throw is Watson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 41-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. 24!
On 2nd and 9. Watson, screenplay, Johnson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Watson operating from the gun. And he finds Stills, complete. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
On first down, Miller. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Squeeze, double. Check 31. Hey, look 3.
Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Open man is QT, complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Check 50. 54. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
Now it's Watson. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. After the penalty, it's Miller. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this one is right through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Dobbs is throwing. He's going to look deep down the field. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Now Watson. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Jacksonville as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. The Texans send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Stop your whining. Mike, bye.
Now Dobbs. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. This is Jeff Slame, the tight end. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here we go. 60 outlaw. Mike. So we got man. Go. Watch the motion.
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
On first down, Dobbs to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for a 4-minute offense, and this offensive line is really hunkered down and established themselves.
Well, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. The Texans on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
He's coming. We got double up.
This is Freeman. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 3 yards on first, 4 on second, and now 5 on 3rd down. Move the sticks.
First down, Houston.
Check. Watch 54.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column, eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On second down now, it's Miller. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Watson with a give to Miller. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Flush to his right. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On third down, Miller. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Houston, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they dropped just their 2nd game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.